start it. After that, number of admissions took place. So we are continuing with the earlier lecture, that is the Indian Contract Act first chapter, introduction. So today we are going to discuss the types of the contract, or we generally say it as the classification of contract. So when we talk about the classification of contracts, first of all, the basic thing which we need to remember is कि अगर contract word use हुआ है तो contract means a valid contract means an agreement enforceable by law. It means it carries all the essentials. So when we talk about the classification of contract, so these are classified on the basis of mode of फॉर्मेशन कि वो आपका एंटर कैसे हुआ है. Secondly, the very important is on the basis of validity, that whether a particular situation is valid or not. And the third one is on the basis of performance. So all these classification and different types of contracts we are going to discuss today. Okay. So when we talk about mode of formation, इसमें बहुत सारी आपकी क्वेरीज आएंगी इस पर्टिकुलर टॉपिक में. सो मोड ऑफ फॉर्मेशन में सबसे पहला कॉन्ट्रैक्ट हो जाता है आपका एक्सप्रेस कॉन्ट्रैक्ट. सो व्हेन वी यूज द टर्म कॉन्ट्रैक्ट, contract itself means a valid contract. A valid contract means an agreement enforceable by law. So when we use the term express, so express means words spoken or written. So if we say the definition or the meaning of the particular contract, so we say a particular contract which has been entered into with the help of expression, with the help of words either spoken or written, is called as the express contract. So this can be the oral contract, this can be the written contract. So it means that even if you are speaking something, or you're making a promise verbally or orally, then in that particular case, it is also going to be equally valid as we talk about the written contract. Okay. Yes, Vita. Okay, so we have started with the classification of contract, wherein in the classification of contract, this classification is to be discussed on the basis of formation, on the basis of validity, and on the basis of performance. The very first situation with the help of which we enter into the contract is the express contract. Express contract can be entered into with the help of the words spoken or written. So when even if we are speaking something, it's not recorded anywhere or it's not written anywhere, still it will give rise to a valid contract. And when we talk about the valid contract क्या होता है कि whatever promise is being made, such promise must be performed. And if it is not performed, the other party has right to go to court of law to get it performed, or to get compensation for non-performance, or get compensation for non-performance, right? So this particular query comes to our mind कि एक verbal contract जो है वो valid कैसे हो सकता है. So it attracts equal validity as the written contract attract. So express contract is a valid contract which is being entered into with the help of words spoken or written. So it gives rise to the valid contract, as the other contract, written or registered contract, attracts the validity. The only difference remains is in form of the legal formalities, that in for the we say कि कोर्ट ऑफ लॉ में उसको एनफोर्स करने के लिए किसी किसी पर्टिकुलर कॉन्ट्रैक्ट में हमें लीगल फॉर्मेलिटीज की फुलफिलमेंट जरूरी होती है. So if you pursue law as a career, so in those the separate papers are there, how to get for the evidence, or what the evidence act says. All these things you are going to discuss in detail if you pursue the law as a career. But here we are just going to cover the basic concept that what it exists as, right? Now, the second type of contract is called as implied contract. When we talk about the implied contract, so implied means with the help of the actions, with the help of the course of conduct, or with the help of the behavior. So, without use of words, if your actions, your behavior shows that an offer is being made and the other person accepts the offer in that particular situation, it will give rise to a contract, keeping in mind all the other essentials are present. तो ये मैंने आपको एक रूल बताया था कि जब भी हम एक पर्टिकुलर पॉइंट की बात कर रहे हैं और एक पर्टिकुलर पॉइंट को डिस्कस कर रहे हैं, सो वी assume that all the other conditions are present there. तो उस पर्टिकुलर पॉइंट के होने या ना होने से वैलिडिटी पे क्या असर पड़ेगा हमें वो समझना होता है. सो इफ वी टॉक अबाउट द implied contract, so actions, behavior, etc. For example, there is on the road, the bus stop is there, and the public is taking the bus, and in that case you are bound to buy the ticket, and the particular bus is bound to drop you till the place of your destination. So in that case it's a implied contract. And okay, let's continue. So you can take an example of metro. So you are either you are buying the ticket by cash or you are using your metro card. So once you enter the station and you get the entry into the particular station, then you get down, then the automatically the particular ticket is being charged. So no one has spoken anything where you wish to go, or what will be the place of your destination, etc. So in that case you have entered into a contract. So if there is by mistake or the particular amount is debited and the particular metro is not working, it is to be credited. You can file a complaint. Similarly, if we take another example, there is implied contract in terms of you have downloaded certain kind of app, right? So in that particular app, until unless you click on the agree terms, this is not going to work, or the further process you are not allowed. So this is again kind of implied agreement. You are withdrawing money from ATM. You are, without using the words, you are entering into the contract. You're bound by the particular transactions. Not recently, but a few years, more than a year back, there was a news or there was a message on WhatsApp that you have to go to the settings and you have to disable the tab of the sharing of data of permission of WhatsApp or all your end contacts to be taken up by the Facebook. So this thing happened that when we downloaded the version or updated the version, so in the new version there was the option that all your contacts and data will be shared with the Facebook, and it was again, we never read the terms and conditions by downloading the app or other things. So somewhere in the conditions, terms of the agreement, it was written there. So later on, most of us have disabled that particular tab, and even I did so. So that's okay, right? So when we talk about the implied contract or express contract, so I hope the concept is clear to you. Then there comes the e-contracts. When we talk about the contract, so even if it is written form or when we enter it through the electronic mode, this will be considered as the e-contracts. And after introduction of Information Technology Act, e-contracts are considered valid. And about more detail how these are valid and how these is to be taken care, this we are going to learn in the coming sections or coming act when we are going to cover. Then there comes another contract is called as the quasi contract. In case of quasi contract, what happens, my dear friends, that parties have not offered or not accepted, they have not entered into the contract willingly, but there are certain obligations. These obligations are imposed by law, and these obligations are similar as the obligations arises in the contract, and the remedies of the particular non-performance are same. So these quasi contract, now they have shifted it to the head special contract. So there are certain kind of obligations or example circumstances which we are going to discuss at this particular stage. So if we talk about the first formation of, on the basis of formation, the contracts are classified into express contract, then implied contract, e-contract, and quasi-contract. So types of questions or the other things which will come from this particular chapter, this we are going to discuss in the next class. Now, the next classification is very, very important, which we are going to discuss. That is classification on the basis of validity. So, every time in the exam, the question comes from this particular section. If you have understood the first section, then please write in the chat box, or if you have any query, yes, please, you can write in the chat box. Yes, if you have understood the first section about the express contract. Yes, 35 students. Okay, good, good, wonderful. Okay, good to go. Thank you, everyone. Now, let's move to the another section, that is classification of contract on the basis of validity. So when we talk about the on the basis of validity, the contracts are classified into five types. First one is known as valid contract. The second one, which we are going to discuss today, is voidable contract. Then we have void contract. Then we have void agreement. Then we have illegal agreements, and we have unlawful, and these are related, so we are going to discuss it together. And the last one is unenforceable contracts, right? So generally in form of difference, in form of explanation or the case study, the question generally comes from this particular section. So let's discuss the very first type, which is called as the valid contract. When we talk about the valid contract, we have already discussed the definition under section 2H, that an agreement enforceable by law is a contract. So it means that a valid contract is one which carries all the essentials to become the contract, to be a contract. And whenever we use the word contract, so contract itself means an agreement enforceable by law, एंड जिस भी टर्म के साथ कॉन्ट्रैक्ट ऐड हो जाएगा, इट मीन्स इट्स अ वैलिड थिंग. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, here we are using the term valid contract, we are using the term voidable contract, so it means voidable है लेकिन valid है. Void contract, where here we are using void agreement, so जहाँ पे हम agreement word use कर रहे हैं, it means वो contract नहीं बना. Illegal agreement, unlawful agreement, unenforceable contract कि valid है but due to certain situation it cannot be performed. So जहाँ पे आपकी term contract use हो जाएगी, तो contract means enforceable by law. So now let's discuss about the voidable contract and its definition. When we say in simple words voidable, so it means contract है, तो कॉन्ट्रैक्ट जो है वो है एनफोर्सेबल बाय लॉ. और एनफोर्सेबिलिटी बाय लॉ क्या कहती है कि इफ वी आर वी हैव नॉट परफॉर्म, देन वी हैव टू फेस द consequences. It means that we are bound to perform. There exists our legal obligation. तो अगर हम अपनी लीगल ऑब्लिगेशन को परफॉर्म नहीं करते हैं, द अदर पार्टी हैज द राइट टू गो टू कोर्ट ऑफ लॉ to get it performed or to get compensation for non-performance, right? Now when we use the term voidable, so voidable means which can be avoided. Now the question might be coming to your mind कि ये कैसे हो सकता है कि एक तरफ तो वो enforceable by law है और एक तरफ हम बात कर रहे हैं कि it can be avoided, right? So how it can be avoided? We say it can be avoided within preview of law. कई बार ऐसा होता है ना that we have certain exemptions, we have certain excuses. For example, you got the admission but one of your certificate was not ready, or some particular document was not available from your principal, so you could not submit this particular document. So in that particular case you have been granted the extension of a week or the 10 days for the submission of the same. ऐसा किसी के साथ हुआ था? Any one of you? Yes, at the time of admission. Okay, none. But some students have faced this particular problem. Okay, so now we say within the preview of law, it can be it can be avoided. So we have to understand that when we say about the voidable contract definition, it is said a contract which is enforceable by law at the option of one of the parties, at the option of one of the parties, but not at the option of another, is called voidable contract within the meaning of law. Voidable contract. Right? This definition is clear to all of you. A contract which is enforceable by law at the option of one of the parties but not at the option of another is called voidable contract. Now we have to understand how it happens or how it is permissible to not to perform. So in this particular case, let's see the definition first and then we will move further. So this we have already discussed that the classification is on the basis of the validity for formation and the performance. Then in case of validity, we have discussed that meaning of valid contract. Then in this case, we have to discuss the meaning of voidable contract. When we talk about the meaning of voidable contract, so it says, one second. Yeah. So it says an agreement which is enforceable by law at the option of one of the parties thereto, but not at the option of other parties, is called voidable contract, section 2I. So in this case, we have to understand under what circumstances it is not enforceable by law. So here I can remove the inverted commas if I have skipped any of the words. So there too is word is missing and language is changed. So I just simply state this definition without inverted commas, and I have not mentioned the section as well. Okay, so in this particular case, what happens that it is enforceable by law at the option of one of the parties, but not of the at the option of another. So it says कि voidable contract में क्या होगा कि एक party, suppose A and B have entered into the contract. So it is enforceable by law at the option of one of the parties, and it is B does not have any role with respect to compulsion. Now, how it happens? It generally happens where the consent of the party is not free. It is obtained by some pressure, etc. So, in absence of free consent, the party whose consent is not free can set aside the contract. We are saying the option is here to set aside the contract. So if A doesn't set aside the contract, it will remain enforceable. But the right of setting aside the contract is with A whose consent was not free. So, on the basis of this, it says that a contract which is enforceable by law at the option of one of the party but not at the option of the other is called voidable contract. When we talk about the free consent, so in case of free consent, wherever the physical pressure or mental pressure has been used, and in the terms of law, these terms are made as coercion, undue influence, fraud, or misrepresentation. So if the consent of the party is affected by any of these items, then it is said that the consent of the party is not free. Now in this case, my friends, what happens? For example, A on the point of gun have asked B to transfer his property or his bungalow in the name of A. Bungalow in the name of A. Now it's a written contract. It is the registered contract, and some amount of consideration is also there. All other essentials seems to be there, but in this particular case, A's consent is not free, because when the has asked to transfer his property on the point of gun, so it means that will definitely would like to save his life rather than to keep the bungalow in his own name. So he has transferred, he has signed the document, you know, and it at its face it looks like a valid contract, but law gives the permission, law gives the allows A that he can go to court of law to set aside the contract. So in this particular case situation, what is there that A have the option that he continue to be bound by the contract. It means the particular contract is going to be performed, right? Or there is option with A to set aside the contract. A court of law will not come at home, or the authorities will not come home to ask A that whether you have given your consent freely or not. So, if A wants to set aside the contract, A has been given the right to go to court of law, and he can set aside the contract, and the burden of proof and how it will be done we are going to discuss in the chapter of free consent. So, in this particular situation, this contract will be known as voidable contract, wherein one party has right to enforceability of contract. So it says, again we come to the definition, which says a contract which is enforceable by law at the option of one of the parties but not at the option of another is called voidable contract. So if the definition and the concept is clear to all of you, please write yes in the chat box. Yes. Yes. If the concept of voidable contract is clear to all of you, please write yes in the chat box. Any query? Okay. Fine, Madhav. We'll discuss the example. Okay, so now if we talk about the example says कि एक consent कब free नहीं होती कि जब वो we have to discuss in later stage that when the consent of the party is not set free. But here we can say that unfree consent can one of the reason for the contract to be the voidable contract. No, what's happening? Okay, so in this particular case, what we have to discuss is that we have to discuss here कि किस सिचुएशन में उसकी कंसेंट जो है फ्री नहीं होगी. ये तो हमें क्लियर है कि अगर कंसेंट फ्री नहीं होगी तो वो वॉइडेबल कॉन्ट्रैक्ट हो जाएगा. लेकिन इफ से कॉर्जन कहीं पे आप पे फिजिकल थ्रेट से या आपका मेंटल थ्रेट से you have compelled the other party to enter into a contract, that is called that the consent of the party is affected. So in this particular situation, the example I have discussed is that A has asked B on the point of gun to transfer his property in the name of A. And A was not having any choice. A has transferred all his property in the name of B. So in this situation, A have the option to set aside the contract in the court of law. Otherwise, because it's a written registered contract and some consideration is also there, all essentials are there. So this particular contract will be enforceable by law. लेकिन अगर ए कोर्ट ऑफ लॉ के पास चला जाता है तो ए के पास राइट है उस कॉन्ट्रैक्ट को परफॉर्म ना करने का. सो कोर्ट ऑफ लॉ में ऑर्डर to transfer this particular property back in the name of A. You must have seen in the movies also certain circumstances where the particular person has, entered into the contract and later on the party has filed a case with respect to set aside the contract कि ये जो प्रॉपर्टी है ये जमीन है ये इन्होंने मुझसे जबरदस्ती अपने नाम करवाई है. So they ask the witness and the case goes on. So all these things happens and the the judgment of the court is final and the party has the right to set aside the contract. Yes, is it clear? Yes, Madhav.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now we move to the other questions. What has happened to this? Okay. Okay. Now, in other circumstances, first case we have discussed that the consent is not free. ठीक है, किस सिचुएशन में हम इसको सेट असाइड कर सकते हैं. सेकेंड केस होता है वेयर वन पार्टी was required to perform in a given time period. Now, in this case, if the contract was required to be performed within a given time period, there was a condition of time, then in that case, if you have not performed in given time, then the other party has the right to set aside the contract या फिर वो performance accept कर ले. So other party has the right to perform or to set aside. ठीक है. So इस केस में क्या होगा? For example, if you are required to, as per the terms of the contract, you are required to submit the documents within a given time period, and if you have not submitted the document in the given time period, the other party has right to reject the contract, to set aside the contract, or can give the extension as per his choice. So it means that it again, the condition says that the contract is enforceable by law at the option of one of the parties. So in this particular case, again, the circumstances says that it's a voidable contract. Then the third situation says that where one party stops another to perform the contract. One party stops another to perform the contract. Here I can give you the example. For example, A was supposed to deliver certain units, say 1000 units of a particular product to B by end of this week, right? But he could not deliver those goods by the end of this week. Now it's a choice of B that whether he wished to accept those goods beyond that particular stipulated time or not. This was about the time, and where one party stops another to perform the contract. In this case, A was required to deliver these 1000 units of goods to B, and B says to A that now if you have not procured, or if you are you can do so, so you don't deliver these 1000 goods because the further order which I was supposed to deliver got cancelled. Now it's a choice of A that whether he is going to perform the contract or he is going to set aside the contract. So it will depend upon the option of A whether to elect the contract to be performed or to set aside it. So in this case, where one party stops another to perform the contract, they at the choice of the another party who is being stopped whether the contract to be performed or not, so it will also come under the voidable contract. और इसी एग्जाम्पल में हम टाइम का एग्जाम्पल ले सकते हैं कि if the contract was required to be performed in a stipulated time period, and if it is not performed, the other party has right to accept the performance or to say that the contract is to be set aside. So for example, A was required to deliver these goods by the end of this week. Then in that case, B stops him that this particular, if it is not given in a particular time period, so B has the right to set aside the contract or to treat the contract as voidable contract. So the both the points can come in together, or if it is prevent, so in both the situation it will be treated as the voidable contract. So let's discuss, let's see the slide and then we'll discuss. It is given that generally it happens when there is no free consent, right? So first cause can be that there is no free consent. It can be caused due to coercion, undue influence, fraud, or misrepresentation. For example, A promises to B to sell his house for rupees 5 lakh, and his consent was obtained by force. It was not free. The contract is voidable as the consent is not free. Similarly, if we talk about uh, second, I have to use the mouse. Okay. Similarly, the another example is being given that one a party to a contract promises to perform an obligation within a specified time period, and any failure on his part to perform his obligation within fixed time period makes the contract voidable at the option of the promisee. Then, in as per section 53, where A and B have entered into the contracts and B prevents A from performing his promise, in then the contract is voidable at the option of A, who the party who is being so prevented. Is it clear? Yes, please.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
Yes, ma'am.
can we move further to other definition?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So before going to the void contract, I would like to discuss void agreement first. Yeah. So when we talk about the void agreement is that agreement which is, missing any of the essential in the contract. I think it's not working. Okay. Now, my dear friends, when we talk about the void agreement, void means not enforceable by law. ठीक है? एंड अग्रीमेंट मीन्स कि वो प्रॉमिस तो है, उस प्रॉमिस में ऑफर एंड एक्सेप्टेंस तो है, बट दिस पर्टिकुलर अग्रीमेंट हैज नॉट टर्न्ड इनटू कॉन्ट्रैक्ट yet. राइट? सो अब उसका रीजन क्या होता है कि ये पर्टिकुलर वॉइड अग्रीमेंट मीन्स कि वो कॉन्ट्रैक्ट बना नहीं. वॉइड मीन्स नॉट एनफोर्सेबल बाय लॉ. So it means an agreement which is not enforceable by law is void. And there can be the reasons that there can be some technical defect. टेक्निकल डिफेक्ट मीन्स कि कुछ रिक्वायरमेंट्स और कुछ कंडीशंस हमें चाहिए उस अग्रीमेंट को एनफोर्सेबल बाय लॉ करने के लिए. सो वो कंडीशंस जो हैं वो उसके अंदर प्रेजेंट नहीं है. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, वी हैव डिस्कस that an agreement which gives rise to social obligations is not enforceable by law. It means we say that agreement where there is no consensus ad idem, this is going to be not enforceable by law. We have discussed that where the enforceability by law, there is no capacity of parties. So we can say an agreement with the minors because the age of majority is there. So an agreement with minors or an agreement with persons of unsound mind or an agreement with people who are disqualified by law is going to be void. We have also discussed consideration should be there. So an agreement without consideration is going to be void, right? We have also discussed कि lawful object होना चाहिए. So an agreement with unlawful object is going to be void. Then we have discussed about the possibility or certainty of performance. So an agreement with uncertain meaning, an agreement with the impossibility to perform. So these all these are going to be considered as not enforceable by law, are considered as void agreements. तो void agreement कौन से होते हैं? Which are not enforceable by law from the very beginning. So it says section 2B2G says an agreement not enforceable by law is said to be void. तो void का meaning ही यही होता है, not enforceable by law. So in this case जब वो enforceable by law नहीं है तो वो किसी भी rights और duties को और obligations को rise नहीं देगा. And we also say that an agreement is void ab initio. Void ab initio means void from the very beginning. कि वो किसी भी स्टेज पे एनफोर्सेबल बाय लॉ नहीं हो सकता, किसी भी स्टेज पे उसमें लीगल राइट्स या लीगल ऑब्लिगेशंस एग्जिस्ट नहीं करते. सो void agreement is that agreement which is not enforceable by law and which does not give rise to any kind of legal rights or obligations. In this case, certain legal or technical defect is there, some essential element is missing, because of which it cannot be enforced by law. It is void from the very beginning. So an agreement with minor, without consideration, agreement in restraint of trade are considered as void. So in this case, we have also discussed the other examples, and there can be n number of examples with respect to the void agreements. और उसमें इसके बाद एक टॉपिक हम डिस्कस करेंगे ना, जैसे हमने डिस्कस किया था that the agreement should not be expressly declared void to be specifically enforceable by law. तो कुछ स्पेशल सर्कमस्टांसेस भी होते हैं, जो स्पेशल सिचुएशंस लॉ ने ऑलरेडी हमें डिक्लेयर किया हुआ है that if you enter into these kind of agreements, these are going to be void, these are not going to be enforceable by law. तो उसमें in agreement in restraint of trade, agreement in restraint of marriage, etc. आ जाता है. So, if we say today we have discussed the agreements on the basis of the formation and on the basis of validity. We have discussed valid contract, we have discussed voidable contract, and we have discussed void agreement. So I expect from all of you to go through the notes. It's been already uploaded on the classroom, and you just have to, read these two definitions. And if there will be any doubt or difficulty, we can discuss it again. So now the class is open for your doubts and discussions. Any queries, if you require, you can ask your doubts.